This is Terror House Radio with Matt Forney and Bryden Proctor.
Welcome to a Terror House Radio episode number 44. I'm Matt Forney, your charming and loquacious host and the founder and editor-in-chief of Terror House Press. Joining me, per usual, is my co-host and producer, the unflappable Bryden Proctor. How you doing, Bryden?
I think we've already done the unflappable one, and I still don't know what it means. It's like something about flapping.
It means nobody can stop you.
Like birds. Nobody ever stops a bird except, like, Tyson.
Yeah, I should probably think of something a little more original and, subtly insulting for that intro.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna try to insult me, if you're gonna try to insult me, you better use big words that I don't fucking understand, because otherwise, I'm gonna come at you hard. I'm gonna come at you hard, Matt.
By the way, I should probably mention that for the first time in ages, we're not putting this out on Sunday. We're putting it out on Tuesday. Because reasons. Why? Because we like to change things up. So yeah, the podcast will now be out on Tuesdays instead of Sundays.
You didn't tell anybody that previous to us recording this now?
No, I just went out in the went out on Twitter, and it went out on the mailing list. But there's always some people who miss it somehow. There's always the person who's like, "Why isn't the podcast up? Why is the podcast up now? Where's the podcast?"
Well, I don't know. I mean, just ignore those people. You tell them that I said I didn't want to do it, and they're gonna go, "Oh, that makes sense."
Nah, I like to be inclusive. I like to include everyone.
Yeah. Includiness, right? So that one is where you just you invite George Clooney to every single thing. Like, you're like, "Oh, I'm having a podcast," and you just mail George Clooney at mac.com or whatever. Hope that it's his email.
Send him a snail mail with the printed URL to the Google Hangout.
We really should just start sending fan mail to, like, celebrities just to try to get one of them on. Like, they won't know. They're really dumb people. We'll just find out, like, what the big agencies or whatever, like, just who they represent. Eventually, one of these guys, like, if we couldn't get Corey Feldman on this motherfucker, I'd be surprised.
I mean, I already did a stunt like that a couple months ago, so, like, yeah, this would be a lot. This would be a lot less expensive and a lot more hilarious.
Yeah, just just send a bunch of emails out, or really, a lot of these little guys are they'll do anything. I mean, if we just find the talent agencies and just send them out and be like, "We would like to find a washed up or struggling actor." I'll bet we could find somebody we've never heard of to do it. That sounds like a fun project to do. And then we'll be really nice to them. And then everyone will call them a racist.
How could you appear on Terror House Radio? Don't you know who those two are?
He's like, "I don't know. I'm just the black kid from the Sunny D commercial from the 90s. Oh, man. Yeah, that'd be good.
By the way, the stunt I was referring to is when I mailed out copies of Letters from a Heartbroken Pervert to a bunch of porn agencies.
Well, why'd you do that?
Well, number one, the author asked me to, and number two, it'd be a hilarious publicity stunt. Because a lot of the book is the guy discussing his relationship with porn. So I sent one to John Stagliano's office. I sent one to I think Mike Adriano in Montreal and a few others.
I don't know who any of those guys are. Unlike you,
better that you don't.
Yeah, no, unlike you, Matt. I look at the women in porn. Okay, I'm not over here looking at Mike Adriano. All right, but hey, more power to you, dude. It's 2020. You do whatever you want.
Well, he's a porn director, from my understanding, and an actor.
Yeah, and you read Playboy for the articles, right?
I didn't know who this guy was before I published this book. So
yeah,
and there's actually an article there's actually an essay in Letters from a Heartbroken Pervert on the films of Mike Adriano.
That's a cool name, though. That's a good name, Mike Adriano.
Nah, he's some Spanish dude. But anyway, I sent the books to them, which was easy to do because all these porn sites by law have to have a custodian of records address that's public. So, the books went out. If you're listening to this, guys, I mean, I hope you enjoyed the book.
Who's the custodian of records? Is he the guy that mops up the jizz?
Unfortunately, no. Probably just the guy who like holds all the permits and shit. So like, everyone knows the actors are not, they don't have diseases, they're not underage or shit like that.
Oh man, yeah, that'd be a cool job. I think it's like, what do you do? It's just like, I make sure that we're not making child pornography. That's what my job is. Just to, if the cops come by, I prove, that barely legal stepdaughter, 13 is all on the up and up.
Your officer, I have the paperwork proving that this incest porn, none of the actors are related.
Yeah. How does that work though? Because like there's got to be like twin things, right? There's got to be like twin porn. How's that not incest?
Well, I mean, statistically, I was thinking that would be kind of rare, but then again, statistically, there's 6 billion people on this planet. How many people are born identical twins? There has to be at least one twin couple that decided to go into porn. Yeah. I mean, about 8 years ago, there was a mother-daughter couple who went into porn.
That's
not a couple. I mean, duo.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they're a couple now.
Well, no, I mean, first of all, I just want to come out and say that's a bad mom. So, like, that's not a very good mother. But, yeah, there's got to be, like, because, like, twins pretty much, identical twins kind of just do whatever the other one does or whatever, right? So it's like, there's got to have been some. Or maybe, like, they just worked the same set but switched them out. Like on Full House with the Olsen twins.
Yeah, get double your money. By the way, now I just thought of something. Siamese twin porn.
Yeah, those are really rare though. I mean, usually they can just make the money off of being a freak.
I'm sure someone has thought about it. I remember Beckloff telling me once that he once watched a porn with a guy who had 2 dicks. Like they both got hard and they both came.
Good for him. And good for Beckloff as well. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd be interested in that. There was a guy on Reddit who did an AMA that he had 2 dicks, but one of them didn't function as well as the other one. But I remember he had 2 dicks. He did a Reddit AMA about it. Showed pictures of it, and it's about as weird as you'd expect. I mean, he had 2 dicks. It's pretty weird.
Okay, now I'm going to Google to look that up because I have to see that.
Yeah, I mean it's weird. It's not as like cool as you'd think, but like it seems more like a deformity, But he said they both, one was significantly smaller than the other, but they both kind of worked. Yeah, they both kind of worked, So it's like, all right, he's got 2 dicks. Because like, I mean, think about it. I mean, dude, even if they were both small dicks, like, I think that'd be better than having 1 small dick, right? Like if you had 2 small dicks, you'd be like, all right, so I got something crazy to show you, and you're just at the bar, You'd be like, well, those are both below average penises. You'd be like, yeah, but I'm in possession of both of them. I think that'd be better than having 1 small dick. Or what if you had octo dick and you had 8 penises? That'd be cool.
That would be incredible.
Yeah. It'd be like, Octo Mom, you're not ready for this. We don't know. We've never seen the Octo Mom father's potentially 8 penises. I mean, we don't know how. Actually, I don't even know how twins happen. Sharia might have 2 penises.
No. Twins happen. Well, I mean, there's fraternal twins and then there's identical twins. A fraternal twin, that's when 2 eggs get fertilized at the exact same time. So fraternal twins don't look.
And how would you do that?
Like each other. Just sheer luck.
Nope, with 2 penises.
Yeah, and as for identical twins, that happens when 1 egg gets fertilized and it splits into 2 eggs.
Yeah, and you do that with a forceful penis. So it's like a really determined sperm that goes in there with such magnitude that it splits the egg in half.
Yes, it just wants to live.
Yeah, but like if you just get the normal twins, the ones that aren't like freaks of nature. Let's not pretend that identical twins aren't fucking freaks of nature. All right, you would need a man with two penises to do that because he's got to be shooting both of those ideas in there, you know. But he's got two penises, so he has two different ideas. So those sperms, which are his ideas, because they kind of look like thought bubbles. Like if you took the tail of a sperm and you like turn it the right way, it would look like a you know, kind of like a thought bubble, you know. So I think this is all backed up by science, man. You don't have to look this up.
Yeah, sure. Anyway, I just looked up the guy with two penises AMA, and it says that it's I am bisexual and in a committed relationship with a man and woman. Well, I guess if you've got two penises, you kind of got to have to be bisexual.
Yeah, one of his dicks is gay.
Yeah. Well, you got to get the maximum use out of him.
One of his dicks is gay. I mean, you know, he's got two penises. This man is not held down by like any type of our societal like moral understanding at all. You know, everything is based around the idea one man, one penis, right? This guy, dude, he's like another level. He is the Ubermensch. Like it's seldom interpreted this way, but you know, if you look at Nietzsche, that's really what he was talking about. Was a man with two penises.
Of course, now I got a real question for you, Bryden. What about women with two vaginas?
Oh, that's extremely common. They poop out of one of them.
No. I mean, I'm talking about like actual two vaginas.
Wait, that's the one. The other one. That's not what that's for.
No.
Huh. Explains why they get so mad.
Now I'm thinking two vaginas would be a definite like net asset because like both of them would be extremely tight.
No. Apparently there is a thing. There was at least one woman. I think she also did a Reddit AMA. Who had two vaginas, but one of them was not like you couldn't do anything with it. It was just like, and it didn't look any different or anything. Like she just technically had another one. She didn't have like another uterus or anything either. It was just she had a second vagina. And you couldn't do anything with it. It was too small.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. So once again, women not as good as men. Even when they have freak genitals, men win out the day.
Dudes rock 2020.
It's true, and the year's almost over. It's gonna be a shame. Gonna have to change it for Dudes Rock forever, because I think 2020 was kind of stolen from us. You know,
we had plenty of victories. I mean,
well, name one.
There's the fact that more women were put out of work than men in the recession.
Yeah, and then what happens with those women? They devalue, they devalue themselves, which is kind of a big thing that men work towards achieving things for anyway by making a whole bunch of OnlyFans. And then, hey, let's say you end up dating one of those broads. Oh, they're out of work. Guess what? Then the man's out of money. All right. Any loss for a woman ultimately comes along to a loss for men until men go their own way. This is why we need men's rights, right? 2009.
Now that's some necro shit. I haven't heard about MGTOW in forever. Oh, excuse me. They call it MGTOW. Or do they still call it MGTOW? Is it still around? I've not heard from those people in so long.
I'm pretty sure the idea itself is still around, but like feminists have stopped complaining about it because all of those guys are older and have either gone their own way or not. And I'm sure the ones that have are like, ha, I wish I had two penises.
Yeah, I mean, people just kind of stopped caring. Those guys used to hate the shit out of me for some reason.
Well, I mean, I can think of tons of reasons why, but I don't know why they would. Like, did they do a podcast with you, or?
Nah. I think it came when I started calling them a bunch of whiners.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are whiners, but didn't all of that, like the men's rights era of things, pretty much all started from like, and it got bastardized and all that shit, but it really just started from dudes who were just like, yeah, my wife took my kids and all of my money and divorced me. What the fuck? Which is still a problem.
Yeah, I mean that still happens, but it's not as prevalent as it used to be. Just because people stopped getting married. Victory!
Yay! I like when society just falls apart at the seams. That's cool.
Nah, but I made the joke of like like all these dudes who are talking about don't have sex with women, just spurn them. There was like the 4 levels now when that you ascend upon, that you ascend through these levels as you drop out of society. I made the correct that eventually they're gonna start engaging in political homosexuality because a man isn't gonna rape you in divorce court.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, that is kind of like the feminists did. Yeah, political lesbianism. Yeah.
Andrea Dworkin.
I don't know if I know who that is.
Well, she's the one who came up with it.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Andrew.
No, Andrea Dworkin. By the way, Google a picture of her if you want to know why she came up with that.
Well, I imagine she was just a lesbian to begin with.
She was a gross fat bitch. She was a big bitch.
Ooh, oh boy, that's a hard one to look at, huh? Damn, and even the young pictures of her, she was always pretty ugly.
She did threaten to kill Allen Ginsberg at one point, which is pretty based.
That's pretty funny. I mean, I don't really like threatening to kill people, but sometimes man, yeah, that's rough. She looks like I just don't know how you'd be uglier than Roseanne. That's hard to look at. That looks like a male pedophile. That's who she looks like. I mean, what the fuck? Oh my god! Every picture I click on, she's bigger and bigger. Did you eat the blueberry candy in Wonka's lap? What is going on? Jesus Christ! You're bigger than Kennison, you big bitch. Oh my god! She reaches like Ralphie May levels. This is hard. Ugh, man.
Yeah, I think she died from something related to obesity too.
Well, that'll happen.
At 58.
That'll happen. I mean, here's one thing it's like they got signs that say no to porno. I mean, so maybe they were.
She was anti-porn. Yeah, she was she's the one who came up with the idea that all sex is rape.
Oh yeah, that's a dumb fucking idea. Wow, man, she would hate us, but she would really hate that guy with 2 penises.
Oh yeah,
that's rough. That's a tough customer right there, man. Good grief.
Yeah, she wasn't such a bad writer though. I mean, crazier than a shithouse rap, but some of the shit she wrote was funny.
I mean, it just looks like she died in 2005. I'd be interested to see what she would say about like trannies and shit now. Oh God, I imagine she'd hate that.
Oh, she'd almost definitely be a TERF.
Dude, it's weird how like because like I think feminists are a bunch of fucking assholes, but like I'm not a woman, so I don't really give a shit. Like, they can go believe whatever the fuck they want to believe. It's not like really a part of my day-to-day life. Like I don't care. I talk to one woman, and that's Erica. Outside of that, I don't really talk to women. I don't give a shit. You want to go be a wife? You want to go be a fucking CEO of some place? I'm more mad at the company for allowing you to do that than you weaseling your way in there. I think that's pretty fucking cool. But I think it's neat because, like, I mean, I like weaselly people, dude. If you weasel your way into a position, I'm like, damn, that's fucking awesome, actually. Good for you. But, because I'm a weasel. But the TERFs are some people I think are interesting because they are, I think to a certain degree, people we fucking agree with. Because we're like, yeah, that tranny shit's fucked up. They aren't women. And they're like, yeah, they're not women. And I'm like, so we're good? They're like, no, fuck you, misogynist Nazi. I'm like, that's all well and good, but I'm pretty sure one of those trannies will beat you up before they're going to beat me up, all right? I think I could take them. You are out of luck here, so you're going to need me to punch them with my biological man strength.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this argument has already been, elucidated by one of them about how, trannyism is just men colonizing and stealing women's bodies or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know, drop the colonization term of it and make it sound less gay. But, yeah, I think a bunch of those trannies are a bunch of autistic people that are, trying to go watch women take a pee. Like, I think that's a big part of it. I think they just, like, want to be around women, and they think wearing a dress is the best way to do it.
Well, it's like, are you familiar with the work? I think it's J. Michael Bailey, the man who would be queen. He argues that trannies are motivated by autogynephilia, which if you're...
Yeah, they want to be dominated. Because they want to pretend themselves being a woman... like taken over by a strong man, right?
Yeah. Basically, they're turned on sexually by the idea of imagining themselves as women, and there's also an element of exhibitionism in this, and that they want to force other people to view them as women. Yeah,
I mean, I could see, like, I could understand that type of thing. That's what science should be doing with this right now. Like all these, big nerds. That's what they should be doing right now instead of being like, and actually, they're just allowed to do that. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, they're allowed to do it all they want, but, like, let's not have Chase Bank, celebrate it.
We could probably, ask why it's happening all of a sudden.
Well, if you ask why, you find out that they're a bunch of pervs. Because, quite frankly, I would say 99% of them are fetishists, Like, I interviewed, back in the early days of Ride to Bryden, I interviewed a tranny. This was, like, pre-Trump getting elected. Interviewed a tranny who was, told me about the term trans-trenders. And was like, yeah, I struggle to even, like, look at my penis without, like, fear, and all of this is what they said about it. Like, used to put, like, a rag over it in the bathtub and things and all of this. And it was like, oh, wow. And they go... see, I'm using the nice pronouns, right? I go, yeah, they're like, yeah, most of these people are just hopping on this bandwagon. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Was rather unhappy with their lot in life over, like, fuck, this is not a good thing. Now, where does gender dysphoria come from? It's probably autism and sexual assault. But now, a lot of it, I'll bet, just straight up Discord servers. It's grooming.
There's Discord servers, and there's also the fact that I think, there's porn. Porn, I think, plays a huge role in it.
Probably.
Because all these dudes are watching so much porn that their brains just get fried, and they start imagining themselves as the woman. And I think a lot of it is just the fact that they see, these younger guys, they see that women are privileged in society, and they decide, well, I want to be a woman because I don't want to be dumped on for being a male.
Yeah. But if they watch enough porn, then they'll be like, just dump on me. There's a poop joke. It's a poop joke. 23 minutes in, we got our first poop joke. That's a good episode. It's a good episode.
Yeah, I mean, that shit is just, I mean, it's the news that what's her face, what's his face?
Yeah.
I gotta respect the pronouns. Elliot Page is now a man.
Dude, Netflix went back and changed all Ellen Page in the credits. Went back and changed Ellen Page to Elliot Page. Apparently,
they must have had this all ready to go or something. It's like they changed the Wikipedia entry, they changed the IMDb entries.
Yeah, the way I look at it, because I always try to look at it as the most reasonable thing, right? Not that people are sinister or anything, that they're stupid, and if they're like Hollywood people, rather conniving. I think this is a career move. I think it's a career move because there's this big push for, we need more trans people in movies, and only trans people can play trans characters. So if you're Ellen Page, you haven't really worked for a while, right? I don't know the last thing that Zim did.
Ellie Page is in some Netflix series that I've never heard of.
Those always go. Yeah, but those always go under. I mean, that's Netflix is a bomb waiting to explode. And I think it's probably been taken over by the fucking CIA at this point. But what a great thing to be like, oh, actually, I'm trans now, so I'll get all of these bit parts and leading parts and stuff like that. I think it's a career move because if you look back, Ellen Page came out as a lesbian, which, okay, listen, honey, we all knew, right? Everybody went to school with one of those kids. They're like, I'm gay, and it's like, yeah, we've been calling you that for years. So do you want to go to Taco Bell or like just get in the car? Nobody cares. But she came out as a lesbian twice, like 2 years apart. So this is an attention whore thing, and I might be giving her too much credit by saying it's a career move thing. But I think it's just a career move thing because like think of all the parts you can get. There's like what you got Laverne Cox, which is a hilarious name for a tranny, and then who? Who are the other trannies that are actors and actresses or actress with an X?
I honest to God can't think of any.
And you know what?
I mean, I was about to say the Wachowskis, but they're directors, not actors.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, look, but also maybe I'll get yelled at for this, and maybe I won't. Whatever. But Laverne Cox did a good job in Orange Is the New Black. I never saw the last few seasons, but good for him, her.
I haven't seen it.
The first couple seasons were good. First couple seasons were pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. But I know a friend of mine tried to sell me on it a while back, but I'll add it to the list of shit I'll eventually get around to watching.
Yeah. Well, quarantine 2023. You might as well get through it. Yeah, there'll be a million trannies by then, dude. There'll be a million. Oh, because like if you look at it, you remember Jeffrey. What's his name? Jeffrey Tom. He did. What's that Showtime show? Transparent.
There we go.
Yeah, he did. Jewish fella. He did this whole thing where he's like, and hopefully I'm the last cis person to play a transsexual or whatever, transgender. And then immediately was hit with all of these trannies who were like, yeah, he sexually harassed me. I guarantee you he didn't do that. I guarantee you he didn't do that. Now they've ruined his name. Arrested Development kicks ass. And Transparent, for what the show is, has the best name ever. Because it's about a dad of a like family who's fully grown. And he's like, I'm a lady now. I never really watched the show. Saw one episode and was like, I don't like you that much, Jeffrey. But the title is great.
Oh yeah, the title is great. Actually, the premise reminds me of like a SNL skit from I think 2004 when you could still make fun of this shit about a guy who suddenly decides that he's going to become a woman and his wife is disgusted with it and his children are weirded out and he's talking about at the dinner table about how the surgeons are going to cut his penis open and flay it into a vagina.
Yeah. You got to keep going, or you just want me to live with that imagery?
No, I want you to live with it.
Yeah. That's what they do. Yeah, that's what they do. What a sick world. That's what they do. They take and people have to like fly to Thailand. What's up? Why haven't we bombed Thailand?
I don't know. They haven't bothered us.
They're bothering me by doing that shit. I'll tell you.
But the thing is, like the Thais have a different way of looking at that. Like they've got the lady boys. The lady boys aren't considered like proper women, and they're also like they form a separate social caste, and also they don't force this shit on kids.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to go be a gay prostitute and dress in a dress, then for English guys to go and bang you, like, I mean, I don't like it, but I'm ANCAP, baby. I'll let it go on until we establish ANCAP first, then we move into a Hoppian phase of ANCAP. But for now, I'm like, okay, you're not hurting anybody.
I mean, now the Iranians, their approach to transsexuality is what really weirds me out.
What would they make gay people be a girl? Yeah, that's pretty fucking. Yeah, that's bad.
It's bad, and it's also like some really weird fucked up thinking right there.
I wish I could say the word that I'm thinking of it is, but it's sand that type of fellow logic. Yeah, those people are nightmares. They're stupid. They also believe that they were like, oh, coronavirus, the U.S. gave it to us. Plus, just rub some oil on your butthole, and that'll cure the flu. Like
kiss the Ayatollah on the lips, and that will cure it.
Yeah, and then half of their parliament died.
Old people are crazy.
Yeah, it's rough, especially like old Muslims that have been like living like Jawas for their entire lives. That's hard.
Yeah.
You know, after that scientist, that Iranian scientist got blown up recently, they just came out, you know, with their hoods on. They're like, ga, 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 ga. You know, I swear, if you speed up the audio, they sound exactly like that. You know, like hello, hello. You're like they did. That's what they do, dude. They're wearing like bullets.
Yeah, I mean,
they're Jawas. I mean, I'm not the first person to make that comparison. They are.
Well, I was gonna make the the obvious. I can't make that joke on a public show.
It's bad.
But yeah. Their language is very annoying. And also it's hilarious how they just can't protect any of their people from Mossad. Like, you know, they lose their equivalent of J. Robert Oppenheimer, and like earlier in there they lost their equivalent of Eisenhower.
Yeah, that'll happen. I don't know, man. I mean, they were like apparently super cool in the 70s though, like pre-revolution. Like girls were walking around being hot because Iranian broads are not ugly until you're like, stop shaving, wear a garbage bag, and then you're like, you're cannon fodder now.
Oh yeah. I ran, you had all those hot chicks. They were pretty they were pretty westernized and forward looking, and and then all that ended.
Yeah. You can tell. I mean, you say forward looking. I mean, yeah, they have their eyes right in front of their head like predators. Because that's what they do want to destroy America. I'll tell you that.
Well, they're not going to succeed.
You know who's not a predator? Okay, I'm not. I'm not going to just start making fun of people. This is going to get out of hand. There's no point. Yeah, but yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I know. Back when I was in the old community college, we had some Iranian chick come and like tell us about Iran, and she was like, "Yeah, Iran used to be really cool, and then now it's just super shitty, so I can't go back there."
I've got an Iranian friend who's basically like that. Like he just he lives in exile, and he basically just can't stand the current government there.
Well, I mean, why would you like it? I mean, unless you're like totally bought into the Islamic lie. I mean, I don't know why you would. I mean, I get
or if you're into heroin.
Oh, are they big into that over there?
Well, they banned alcohol because alcohol's un-Islamic, so the government basically more or less permits people to shoot up heroin, and Afghanistan is right next door, so they got a cheap, unlimited supply of it.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Huh. Well, I mean, that's just a weird one to me. Because, like, you look at the Christians, and they're like, don't ever get fucked up on anything. You go so extreme with, like, the Mormons, They're like, I cannot have a Coca-Cola. Meanwhile, they're missing the obvious one, which is, like, just don't eat sugar at all because it makes you retarded, right? But, alcohol is the big one. Just because alcohol has been around longer than everything, it seems weird. We probably talked about this, but there has to be an entire religion based entirely around alcohol.
It's
been around so long.
There has to be, yeah. I mean, I swear to God, I knew of one, but like it's not coming to me at the moment.
There's gotta be, because like I know monks like wake up and brew beer or whatever, but it's like I'm not so much into I'm much more of like that thing with the rooster, that hen or whatever, who's like, and who will help me knead the dough or whatever, and like not I, said the pig or whatever. And at the end, it's like, and who will help me eat this bread? Oh, I will. And it's like, no, because like the moral of the story is that like, you know, you better chip in or you're not getting shit. I'm the pig. I just want to eat the bread. And in this case, I just want to hang out with the monks and just drink beer all day and watch them do kung fu and be like, that's pretty dope, man. I'm going to put that on my D-Life.
I don't think they do kung fu. I think these particular monks just do a lot of praying and reading.
Yeah, I mean, I could stream that too. I could do prank videos where I go up and put my feet in their face. They'll be like, look, they don't do anything. They're like British guards, and I just put my, you know, a couple of my stinkers right in their noses. Come up, slap them on their bald heads, go, you're it, and run around. That'd be great.
They won't even say anything because a lot of them take vows of silence.
See, I mean that, you know, in my head, that's the best way to do it. I just need to go find these otherwise content people living their dumb lie and just like, you know, I'm westernizing them. All right, and they were like, this is what America is. We come over and we just pee in your face.
You probably find a few of them in your area because, you know, you've got these monasteries everywhere.
Really? Around Florida?
I wouldn't shock me if there's one or two. I mean, there's, you know, they got them in New York, got them in Pennsylvania. There's like, you know, monasteries in Iowa of all places and Ohio. And there's got to be like one or two in Florida.
Dude, it'd be cool if I joined a monastery. That'd be cool. That'd be a cool way to spend a couple years. Like, I've done a lot of shit in my life. I've never joined a monastery. Might as well do it. Like, it can't be any worse than joining up with the alt-right. All right? Like, it can't be any worse.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's guaranteed. Well, unlike the alt-right, you know, you get guaranteed housing, guaranteed food. You know, you're safe actually from anything that might harm you in the outside world. You know, you get to bros. There are no women allowed.
Okay, that's a lot like the alt-right. But yeah, the first part, it sounds like the exact opposite. You know, where you don't become homeless, jobless, and foodless. And people are bothering you all the time. Of course, I'm going to change that because I'm going to go to these monasteries and just go around playing Duck Duck Goose while they're praying, and then you know, I make that a trend. Like you know, everybody's doing Pokemon cards now. Wait till I start the trend of bothering monks.
You know, just going around with a fucking air horn in their faces.
Yeah, I'm a visionary, I think. Of course, I couldn't do it without the great Tom Green, you know, leading the way and bothering people.
That what he did?
Tom Green? Yeah, that's all he did. The Tom Green Show?
I never watched it.
This is the Tom Green Show. It's not the Green Tom Show. Yeah, dude. He went around bothering people. He didn't. I don't know if he ever bothered monks. He probably did. He went around bothering people all the time. One of the greatest things that he ever did was went to Japan and like just screamed on subways. And then like he was at one of those little mini, you know, capsule hotel things. So he wakes up at 3 a.m. and just starts trying to give people forks dressed as a fork. You know, like all he did. Like...
So basically, he was like proto Frank Hassel.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah. Tom Green started all of that. This was pre-Jackass, which is a little different than that, but they had some elements of it. But, yeah, this is Tom Green started all that before Eric Andre, before Frank Castle, before, you know, any of that. Yeah, he went around seriously just bothering people. Yeah, it was hilarious.
The Japan stuff sounds fucking hilarious. Reminds me of something this dumb PUA did like 6 years ago. This guy I worked for, I think it was. I forget it. But basically, he filmed a dating video in Japan talking about how like Japanese women are so awesome. You could do pretty much anything to them. And he would run around and like, you know, scream in their faces called Pikachu, and he would like grab their, you know, breasts and shit, and they just giggle.
Jesus. That's not great. I mean, that's not good.
Yeah, for his trouble, he got banned from Japan, Canada, and Australia for that.
Yeah, but well, I mean, who needs to go to those places anyway? They're too far away.
Well, I mean, he definitely won't be banging any Japanese girls now. And by the way, the reason they were just giggling and stuff because Japan is, you know, like that's the kind of place Japan is. Like that was their reaction to being publicly shamed. Since they're all like very, you know, passive aggressive people.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying I'm on board with that. You shouldn't just go grope women. I think that's pretty fucking rude. You shouldn't grope men either. I mean, don't grope. In fact, don't touch anybody. See, if it wasn't for this fake corona shit, I'd be happy with everybody staying 6 feet away from one another. I'd be like, oh, good, there's no one within 6 feet of me. I love this. But no, they had to do it in this gay fucking, World Economic Forum way.
Well, in order to keep people 6 feet away from you at all times, you had to resort to not showering for several days. Now it's just the default.
Well, I don't like not showering. That's the problem. I don't like not because I feel this thin layer of grime on me because I drink a lot, right? So I sweat out the beer, and it feels gross. I don't like my sweat.
Well, you could also just eat a lot of beans and fart a lot. That'll give you a nice 6 feet chamber of solitude.
I do like farting in public. It feels like it should be illegal, but it's not. You can just nobody tells you that. You can just fart in public. I love doing it. It's hilarious. I walking down the aisle with the grocery store. You just fart, and then everybody looks around and goes, "Who the fuck was that?" Because nobody's sonar is so. They're not so auditorily tuned in that they know it came from your butthole. All right, if you do it in a crowd of people, that's they don't know where it came from, and then even the really stupid people will wonder, was that me? It's great.
Well, then it's one of the silent ones. They're not going to be able to hear it anyway. The silent ones are always the ones that smell the worst.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to stink anything up like that, dude. I don't want to I'm not doing biological warfare over here. I'm just trying to make loud, funny noises.
You're not in possession of any weapons of ass destruction.
Yeah, that's not what I'm trying to do. I don't want to ruin anybody's day. You shouldn't have to smell my ass. You should just have to hear it.
That's a beautiful quote.
I mean, I don't know. I've always thought one of the funniest things, well, not always, it's not like I, was 3 years old thinking this, but once I started buying suits, so, I don't know, 5 years ago, I thought the funniest thing would be to run up to somebody, just a stranger, and shake their hand and shit in your fucking suit and confidently walk off. Because there's no way anybody would ever not go to their grave with that being their last thought. So they'd go, I have no idea what happened that day. And that guy just ruined a fucking Armani suit. Just dripping diarrhea out down through your pant legs as you leave a trail to the exit away from, and they're like, I shook his hand. They got to go get tested for fucking everything. They don't know what happened. If you reach your hand out, people will instinctually shake your hand, which I think is weird. So if you shit your pants loudly doing that, you're now the highlight of that person's memories.
Oh, they're going to be traumatized for life.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, to call it trauma is probably the best word. But I remember one time me and my ex-wife were just standing near a bus stop in LA, and this guy comes just walking over, furious, screaming. He's got the longest, thickest thing of green snot coming out, dripping past his chin, screaming, not young guy too, he didn't look homeless, screaming nonsense at me. And I can still vividly see his snot-covered face.
I can fucking see it, and I wasn't there.
So, I'll go to my grave with that. I'll probably on my deathbed, I'll think about that. So yeah, if you just went up in a nice suit, shook somebody's hand, shit yourself, and walked away, you get to be a major part of that person's life.
You have affected them more deeply than their job, their family, their friends. You have seared yourself into their brain.
Yeah. And that's the point. You got to weigh the pros and cons. Is it worth a suit? And the answer is probably yes, it is. So take your stupid suit that you went to your grandmother's funeral in, go to a Walmart, shake someone's hand, unload, and just walk away confidently. You're gonna have to throw out those shoes too, probably. But It'll be good.
I just get some cheap shoes. They cost
No.
like $10 at Walmart.
No, dude, it's gotta be. It's really got. Although, imagine you could probably get somebody at Payless to help you get like shoes, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, oh, I can't get these shoes on, so like you have them get them on for you, and then you shit yourself. I think the point is, like, pretty much, you probably don't even need a suit. If you just shit yourself in front of another person confidently, then, yeah, they'll remember you. You know what? I'm pretty sure at least one of our listeners did that in middle school, and their friends, if they know them, they live in a small town, still call them shit pants.
Poopy pants.
Yeah. Oh, here comes Poopy Pants Todd. It's like it's been 26 years. Stop.
Yeah. You're never shaking that off, Poopy Pants Tom. It'll be on your fucking gravestone.
That would be a cool. Oh man, fuck spray painting. Why don't people like get really cool with vandalism and like go to graveyards and just like chisel in some stuff over there. Just like, all right,
chisel in a certain shape.
Well, yeah, it doesn't have to be a swastika, but
I didn't say swastika. Get your mind out of the gutter.
It's like here lies Tom Delaney. And then under it, it's like you'd have to get good at it, but it's like he died how he lived, gay. He
died doing what he loved, black tar heroin.
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. I don't know why people aren't more creative. Like, because, I mean, it runs in the same vein of, I guess people are just too comfortable and they're cowards, right? Because, like, I mean, like, we look at everything where, like, why aren't there more lockdown protests? Why don't they, well, people are too comfortable and they're cowards. The only people that do, like, dumb acts of artistic vandalism and shit like that are people with nothing to lose at all. And the reason
Antifa, basically.
Yeah, because they have nothing to lose. One, there's really no risk. And, like, two, like, they have no real skills. Like, dude, I'll bet chiseling marble is pretty hard to do.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Michelangelo had to study that shit for years.
More like, never mind. Michelangelo was an Italian Jew. He wasn't. I don't know. I don't know anything about that dork. I just like the idea.
But yeah, I mean, just imagine actually putting, I mean, like I said, you'd have to learn how to chisel and shit, but like you'd have to put all those years in, but the payoff would be so worth it. Because what are they gonna do? Like, you chisel in on someone's gravestone. Like, they're gonna have to get a new gravestone. Like, that's it.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, that's like, those things cost a ton.
Which is amazing considering that they're just slabs of rock.
Yeah, they're just fucking rocks. Well, like when I die, hopefully when I die we have enough money so that, because what I really want is there's got to be a place where they can just literally throw me in the woods. Because that's what I want, is I would just want to be thrown in the woods. But I've told Erica, it's like, all right, well, until we have the money, like so much excess money that you can pay however much it costs to just have me have my dead body thrown in the woods so that animals can fucking, do what I'm supposed to be, which is to be food.
Why would that cost any money in the first place?
Societal reasons. I mean, and because like it's not like they're tires, dude. It's not like you can just have a park filled with dead bodies. The smell, it's tire fires burn forever. You can't just fucking, you're like, oh yeah, here's the woods where we just throw dead body. You can't do that. You'd have to populate it with wolves and stuff. I mean, it'd be a big deal. I understand it, but I know you can do it. You've got to be able to do it. You could cut your dick off and call yourself a woman. You should be able to have your body thrown in the woods and eaten by wolves. Doesn't even have to be wolves. It could be fucking turtles. I don't give a shit. Just food. Birds. I don't give a fuck.
Well, I mean, you could probably do it in like some third world country. Like you could probably do it in Africa somewhere.
Well, they don't mean to do it. Yeah, they don't mean to do it. They just don't know what else to do. They're like, fuck, somebody else died. They go throw in the pile.
Yeah, just fucking just have them helicopter your body out to the Malagasy forest or whatever it is, the one in the one in Madagascar of all the spikes, and just drop it there.
No, I don't want to hang out in Madagascar. I mean, like those adorable animals, definitely, but I don't think they'd eat me. They're adorable. I've seen the movie.
Oh, this particular forest is not adorable at all. It's literally just gigantic spikes that are so sharp that landing on one of them can break your leg.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm just talking about that animated film that is adorable. So don't ruin Madagascar for me. Actually,
I thought you were talking about Madagascar, the place.
No, dude. Madagascar spikes. Let me look this up. Oh, seriously? Dude, this is cool. Yeah, okay, you can throw me there.
Oh, yeah. This is like, it's, I think something like, it's only a very small portion of it has been explored because, like, people go in there, they die. You die if you just fall on something. So most of the species in there have not been cataloged.
Huh. Yeah, that's crazy as shit. That was cool as fuck, dude. I'm into that. They don't look that sharp. I mean, they look more like, I mean, they look like big-ass rocks, but yeah, I'm into that. Yeah, maybe. I mean, but that seems like a lot of work. Oh, there's monkeys crawling on that one. But yeah, no, I just think there's got to be a place where you just go throw me and I can be food for the fucking worms and shit. Like, this idea that, like, I have to be in a casket and he's got to have a funeral and all of this fucking, like, old world, like, oh, I'm dead, what a big fucking deal, is bullshit. So, until we have, like, so much fuck you money, if we ever have, I doubt it, but so much fuck you money that I can have what I'd really like is to truly be eaten and picked apart by, like, birds and wolves and, I don't know, turtles and snakes or whatever. I mean, maybe snakes eat dead people. I don't know what they do. But, yeah, so just burn me, go to the courthouse or wherever, the crematorium, burn me, and then I've told Erica, don't hang on to the ashes because I think that's weird as shit. I don't want you hanging on to them. Just dump them in the garbage. Just get rid of them. Just on your way back, just throw them outside. Who gives a shit? Because it's not just you. It's not just your loved one that's in there. It's like 80 other dudes. Don't let me hang out forever with all those dudes. Don't keep up.
80 other dudes?
Oh, yeah. It's like tons of people, dude. Crematorium shit, it's not just the one guy. It's not like they burn the one dude and then, like, clean it out and all of that. No, there's, like, tons of other guys in those ashes.
Oh. That's put some really disgusting images in my head.
Yeah, dude, keeping ashes is weird. It's dumb. This is like fucking old world.
You're basically got a dead man orgy going on your fireplace.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's trash, is what it is. Like the only thing that a man is like post mortem is just the thoughts of him having existed. I mean, that's for people that are alive. And what that should do is have people concerned about their own mortality, not thinking about, like, and the troubles that come from modern living. I mean, like, you got to deal with debt collectors. You tell them to fuck off because you don't have to legally pay their debts, but they can debt collectors can call family members, which is absolutely horrible. But yeah, it's like, dude, if I'm terminal, I'm taking out so many credit cards. And just leave it. That'll be what I leave behind. It's like, oh, this one has an $8,000 credit limit. This has a $5,000 credit limit. Go nuts. That's what I'm leaving behind. It's like, fuck the banks.
Well, I mean, those debts like expire when you die, right?
Yeah, I mean, they still will bug. Like, if your parent dies or your spouse dies, bill collectors will call you, but you can tell them to suck your dick.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew that much.
As long as it's not in your name, you can tell them to suck your fucking dick. So what cool people should do, if you're terminal or whatever, I mean, shit, even if you're not, I mean, it couldn't hurt to just take out a credit card and then in the event, put an envelope in the event of my death, spend.
Well, I mean, as soon as they find out you're dead, they shut off the card, right? I mean,
yeah, but it takes them a while.
I assume there's a lag time between them finding out that you're dead and the card being shut off or whatever.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And then have fun with them trying to prove it. Have fun with them trying to prove that that you didn't do it. So you can get away with it. They're not going to come after you for it. No, it is. I mean, it really is. And it's like, because people lack savings, which you should have savings, but because people lack savings and because, they can't, leave a lot behind, that's what you should do. Like, just have a bunch of credit cards and then go, all right, so I'm going to die, or like as soon as I die, like within a week or so, just fucking run them up. And then, hey, oh yeah, I'm sure that, MasterCard is going to like really try to come after people for $15,000, $20,000. They're not, because that's nothing to them. They're not going to. You just dodge them.
Oh yeah. People don't realize, like, like with the credit card debts, like stuff like 1,000, in the 4 figures, 5 figures. That's a rounding error to these companies, given how much they make. They don't care.
Yep. So, I mean, I don't know. Is that this again? This is all this is a comedy podcast, right?
It is a comedy podcast.
I'm just making jokes. I'm just talking shit. I'm totally gonna do that though. Just it's the way that it is. Maybe you tell your loved ones and stuff like that. Take out a bunch of credit cards because they don't know you're sick. So it's the way that it is. That's how you fuck the system. That's what do they say? That's praxis, right? That's praxis. That's praxis. That's praxis. Yeah, it is good. Oh man. Why don't you do Chair House News while I take a piss?
Go right ahead. News. Coming up later this month will be our 16th book release, Harv and the Big Collapse by Goddel M. Robert. It's a book about extremely online people doing extremely online things. We know all about the weirdos online and their fantasies of changing the world and IRL activism. Well, this is a novel about one fellow who decides to do that, even though he's totally incapable of managing his own life because he's a NEET who masturbates compulsively. But he's gonna stop the government from oppressing him and liberate his people. And that's what the novel's about. Harv and the Big Collapse by Goddel M. Robert will be coming on December 25th. That's Christmas. Very long novel, very good stuff. It's hilarious. If you want the updates on that, you can subscribe to the Terror House newsletter. Follow us on Twitter, Telegram, elsewhere. Harv and the Big Collapse by Goddel M. Robert coming this Christmas Day from Terror House Press. Bryden, you back?
I am back. I just sat down.
We've been timing these just perfectly.
I know. It's the one thing we've got down. In the world of Terror House podcasting, I pee the amount of time that Matt says shit that I don't care about. It's good. I don't know.
Yes, our listeners appreciate it greatly.
You got we got a thing on Christmas or something?
Yeah, book coming out on Christmas. It's a good book. All of our books are good, but this is a good book.
How are you gonna release a book on Christmas?
Just people can, it'll already be listed on. You submit it to the printers a few days before, and they have it ready to go on Christmas.
They have it by Christmas.
Yeah, by Christmas, and you log on to Amazon and you can order the book right then, which I'm sure a lot of people will be doing.
Okay. I mean, it's just if it's a Christmas gift for someone, they want to have it on Christmas, not like, oh, sorry, it came out on Christmas. You'll have it in fucking 5 to 7 business days.
Well, we've got 15 other books that you can buy as Christmas gifts.
They're not Christmas. Is this a Christmas related book? Is this a novelization of Jingle All the Way?
No, it's not. Though I would pay top dollar to get that.
Dude, that'd be the best IP ever. I would seriously, because ideally I quit doing all this gay bullshit and I just start making horror movies. I want to get the Jingle All the Way IP and then just remake it. And then the trailer will just be like, whoa, a remake of Jingle All the Way. And then people watch it and it's like, this is a snuff film. I think it'd be good. It'd be like Action Man, except it's just like just hard. That action is not good action. It's rough action. Just Serbian film level action.
We got some action with this knife.
Yeah. Oh, dude, apparently they're doing a remaster of a Serbian film and like an uncut version and stuff. Well, they're like
wait, an uncut version.
Yeah.
What was so bad that they couldn't put it in the first version of the film?
Yeah, I think that's what everybody's kind of curious about. That's a hard one.
A dude raping a baby.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad movie. It's hard to watch, that's for sure. But yeah, they're doing a remaster of it, and they're taking some director's stuff out of it, so putting it in. So I'm interested. I mean, I gotta see it, but yeah, it's a hard one to watch, dude. There's a few movies that are just like so hard to watch. I've said this before, but August Underground. That trilogy is like a tough watch. Serbian film is really hard to watch, though. I think August Underground's worse.
What's your thoughts on the Human Centipede? That hard to watch?
The first time through, like, if you don't really know much about it, then like, yeah, it's there's that one scene where he's like, feed her. That's the most disgusting. Human Centipede 2 was bad, and I never watched the third one.
Yeah, I mean, the first movie just gave me nightmares for days. Second movie was just so over the top that I just couldn't take it seriously.
Well, the third one's even more over the top. I say I never watched it. I've seen some of it, but I never finished it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was a shock film. It was a shock film that did what it was supposed to do. Still to this day, I mean, probably the best horror movie is Rob Zombie's Halloween. But
I've not seen that one.
Oh, it's a fucking masterpiece, bro. It's seriously so good. He really nailed, like, Michael Myers. He nailed everything, and he didn't stray too far from the original, but he did good enough to where it was his own. It was great. Rob Zombie is a beast, man. Like, he really is a fantastic horror director. I admire him. Great work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I missed this. I've seen House of a Thousand Corpses and I've seen The Devil's Rejects, but I somehow missed Halloween. Yeah.
I mean, well, House of a Thousand Corpses is just a classic. That's that's one of my favorite ones. That's an absolute classic. This isn't horror, but you know what I watched the other day, just because it was on. Look Who's Talking. This is John Travolta and what's her face? She's like a conservative now. I can't remember her name. But it's the one about the baby that's voiced by Bruce Willis.
Oh, now I remember this.
Yeah. That one, for what it is, like a 1997 comedy flick. It holds up. It's pretty good. I liked it.
Kirstie Alley?
Yeah, there you go, Kirstie Alley. Yeah.
Kirstie Alley. Conservative now?
Yeah, she was on Fox News and shit. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Kirstie Alley, John Travolta, and Bruce Willis. It's pretty good. And then, like, there's some other guy who is famous in it, but everybody looks so young, it's like 1997. Or no, it's earlier than that. It's 1989, I think. Like, it's an old fucking movie, but it does okay. Like, it's not a terrible watch.
Abe Vigoda's in it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's not. That's the old guy, right?
Yeah, the old guy.
Yeah, he's dead now.
Finally.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that. What was so terrible about it?
No. It's more of a joke. Well, the big thing with him, like 20, like it was like 20, 30 years ago. Like, if it was the Post false reported that he died. So that's kind of been like a running thing with him, like a running joke that he's dead.
Oh wow, I don't know. He was old the entire time I knew he was alive.
Damn. I mean, he was also on Conan O'Brien's show, and that was what the running joke there. Abe Vigoda's dead.
Yeah, I mean, he only died in 2016. Good grief, dude. He was born in 1921. He lived a long time.
Oh yeah. I know. He was staying alive just despite all the people who thought he was going to die soon.
I mean, good for him, dude. And they're like, there's pictures of his wife. She died, and they look like just an old couple. Beatrice Shy. I mean, they're just a couple old Jews, dude. Good for them. Who gives a shit? Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking be mad. She died in 1992, though. Oh no. So he was spouseless for a really long time. That's a shame.
He was probably just banging women, I'm sure.
He was really old by the time she died. I don't think he was banging women. Like my grandmother is, older than I'll get out. I don't think she's had sex in the past 40 years.
I was about to say that was a slightly depressing thought, but then to be perfectly honest, old people really shouldn't be having sex.
I don't know, like some of the cool Miami nursing home guys going around getting VD. Yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind being that guy. You're just walking around with cigars. You're like, ha, Beatrice, looking nice today.
I mean, that is funny, but Common Filth made the joke that autism is God's punishment for old people fucking.
Well, yeah, that is true. If you are an old person, you are more likely to have an autistic kid. Yeah. For all this talk about science, nobody ever talks about science, actual science, because it's it's a fucking religion now, isn't it? Because it's science only says good things, and I'm like, no, in fact, most of it's depressing and terrifying from what I've found. You don't talk about vaccines, everybody.
Science is.
Sorry, go ahead.
Science is fucking gay. Science is gay.
Yeah, I agree. The I fucking love science crowd is pretty gay, and most science is made up bullshit. But most of the stuff, basic things that we can understand, is usually rather depressing, because it's science will tell you no, you can't be anything you want. You're pretty much kind of stuck doing this.
No, we're never going to the stars. We're going to be stuck on this planet for all eternity.
No, I do believe that not we, but people will eventually go to the stars. I mean, the Chinese are going to do it, but not us. We're screwed. We're too busy calling people racist.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
I'd have to disagree. I mean, but then again, I don't know.
We'll get as far as the moon. That's it.
Yeah, and I guess they did that or whatever. They probably done it eventually. I'm not sure about the first time, but what makes you say oh, I guess they'll just never do that? Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't people just do it?
Well, I mean, people may want to do it, but the problem is the biggest problem is E equals MC squared. There's no way to get past the universal speed limit that is the speed of light. And in order to travel at the speed of light, which human beings are not capable of doing at the moment, the closest star system to us, Proxima Centauri, take 4 years to get there from Earth.
Okay, so what's up? Extended cruise.
That's way too expensive. Plus, there's something called I forget the name of this paradox, but basically, let's say imagine right now. I mean, this is obviously not going to happen right now. 2020, someone decides to create an extended cruise ship, a generation ship, and send it to Proxima Centauri, and it's going, and it's going at such a slow rate that it'll reach Proxima Centauri in about 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get there, and they're thinking, oh, we finally made it. This generations long journey, we've made it. And they discover that humans have already made it to Proxima Centauri and have colonized the one planet there that's habitable. Because 500 years after the original ship launched, humanity decided to launch another ship that was capable of going twice as fast. So it only got to Proxima Centauri in 500 years.
Okay, well,
this is an actual scientific problem. Knowing the optimal time to send an interstellar colony ship. Right. Knowing that when you get to the point where, propulsion technology is fast enough that they can get there in a reasonable amount of time, it won't get faster, and then someone else won't end up sending more people out there, and then completely fucking everything up.
Well, no, it's I guess the first, the people that are already there know, there's going to be some fucked up invaders coming here who were the first guys, and so they just shoot them out of the sky.
I mean, that would be a pretty shitty ending to a 1,000-year, journey across the stars.
Yeah, but it would be a great Terror House story prompt.
Oh, you got me there.
And I was thinking more of just, I don't know, Mars. Like, Elon's fascinated with Mars. Like, just send people over there or whatever. I'm not thinking we're going to fucking, like Firefly Land or whatever. And I'm not even saying that this is like it's definitely not within our lifetimes. But, dude, if you think about this, like, what has happened in the past 100 years is completely would be seen, like the Industrial Revolution would be seen, in the 1700s as absolute fucking science fiction. So it's usually just like, whoa, we can do that. Except it's not going to be like, oh, for the good of humanity. It'll be like, whoa, they're rounding people up and sending them there. Not like, yay, we get to go. More like, oh, shit, okay, I guess I'll get in the ship. It's usually bad.
So it's basically going to be like StarCraft, where we just load up all the undesirables and send them into the stars to fuck off.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm not I get inundated with so many people that want to tell me this is going to happen, that is going to happen. I don't know. I would never claim to. But I think it's a bold statement to say, like, oh, humanity will never go to the stars. Okay, first, we didn't even define what we thought the stars were, right? So you're talking about fucking Alpha Centauri and all that shit, which is a great name for a kid to be like, I'm Alpha Centauri Proctor. That's a cool name. I'm down with that. And then it'd be like, why are you named that? I'd be like, my fucking dad smokes pot and does podcasts. But, like, if you, like, I'm thinking Mars, like it's totally reasonable that 100 years from now people will be on Mars or whatever. Dude, in the 1800s people were making their own fucking clothes, right? When was the last time you sewed a shirt, Matt, that you didn't rip?
I've never sewn a shirt in my life.
Well, there you go. So you don't know. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous to say that people won't do that. Now, the fetishization of space is pretty bad, and it's also the same with the fetishization of the past. Like, people refuse to live in the here and now because it is such a dumb, uncomfortable thing to have to live in now. But yeah, people will ultimately be forced to go to space, and there'll probably be prison colonies before people actually want to live there. That seems likely. There was a time when Australia was Mars.
Well, I mean, Australia is, at least a small part of it is livable.
Still,
Mars is not livable.
Yeah, I mean, look. All I'm saying is I don't like to make bold statements like that while I'm this sober, because that's it's kind of ridiculous.
Well, I mean, until they figure out that whole speed limit thing, it's probably not going to happen.
Great. And
I mean, even going to Mars is kind of a hassle. Like, going to Mars would take a long time.
Yeah, okay, but calculators were a thing that was like, nobody's ever going to have some smartphones, my man. Oh, yeah, nobody's ever going to have some dumb thing that has all the knowledge of the world in it, and it's going to be used to track your every movement for the government and corporations. Dude, 10 years ago, people would have gone, that seems far-fetched.
Also, I don't think our society is the one that is really capable of any serious scientific, advancement. I mean, you talk about the past 100 years, but if you zero in on, I don't know, the past 50 years, past 40 years, there's really been not much in the technological development sector.
Oh yeah, all those famous podcasts from 50 years ago. The fuck are you talking about?
Technology has stagnated.
It's like dude. What do you mean it's stagnated? What the fuck are you talking about? This is not a thing 20 years ago. What we're doing right now was not a thing 20 years ago.
It's a spin on existing technology podcast.
That's what technology is. That's what technology is. It's always a building upon a building upon. That's why I get so annoyed when people are like, black people invented this. I'm like, no. What do you mean, the filament and light bulbs? That's not. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
There have not been any single earth-shattering developments like the telephone or the automobile in our lifetime.
The internet?
That was not within our lifetime.
It was for commercialized and personal use. Yeah, it was.
Also, let's throw in something else here. I think humanity will nuke itself to oblivion before we get to the stars.
Just about half of us, yeah. Also, that's actually probably not. What's the theory that nukes don't exist?
Well, it'll collapse. Society will collapse.
Oh, geez, society's never collapsed before.
We might be on the cusp of a dark age.
Yeah, that's fine. I get that. And then what do? You come out of the dark age into some enlightenment fucking bullshit, and then the people were like, fuck, wow, maybe we shouldn't let Jews into our countries. Let's go to let's send Jews to Mars. Maybe that's what they do.
No, again, the cycle repeats before you get to the stars. Society collapses, you start all over.
Listen, this isn't the Tower of Babel, buddy. All right, there are advancements. I'm pretty it's ridiculous what you're saying. The things that you're saying are ridiculous. Just because something will not happen with your lifetime does not mean that it is not. It is completely infeasible. All right. Do you think when they were building those pyramids, do you think they were like, "Fuck, man, this is the height of human civilization. This is a pretty dope ass triangles we're building in the middle of the fucking desert." Now there's a Pizza Hut next to one.
Well, I mean, I've got my own theories on the Egyptians and ancient civilizations.
I have none, other than I think they were probably pretty stoked about those fucking triangles.
I think there was a human civilization before us that got to the space travel stage and then blew themselves up, and now here we are.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know, History Channel. Like, fucking maybe. But, I don't know. I mean, why are you, like, constantly resetting the game of spore that is humanity? I mean, like, it just... I think things probably get worse, and the technology gets better and better, and the civilizations get worse. I think that we've reached new heights that are totally unprecedented, and it will get worse. I mean, the Industrial Revolution was terrible for people like you and me, right? And they didn't have podcasts to complain about. They only had cigarettes they could smoke outside before accidentally getting caught on fire because of all the oil that they had on their work suits. It's not going to be a good thing when we go to space. I don't think it's going to be a good thing. I'm saying that it is going to be a thing. I think that they will send prisoners there. That'll probably be the first thing. Round up undesirables and shoot them into space.
Well, too bad it's not happening in our lifetimes. We could be herded on there as political prisoners.
Yeah, that's what I want, to be a space prisoner. That's worse. No! I want to drink beer and chill out and talk to retards on a podcast.
Oh, you can drink beer and chill out and talk to retards on a podcast on Mars.
Mars sounds like it sucks. I'd go though. Like I really would. If they were like, "Do you want to go to Mars?" I'd be like, I'd have to tell Erica. I'm like, "Listen, this is what I have to do. I got to be one of the first guys." I'd go to Mars. I wouldn't make it. I would regret it immediately. I would end up like I'd be the first guy to hang myself in zero gravity. That'd be fucking cool.
A true pioneer.
Yeah, I'd make suicide great. I like open the door. They're like, "Fuck, we didn't lock that thing." Just like kicking windows the whole time. Like I can't even, dude. Like I get 15 minutes down. We went to a friend's house the other day. I'm like 15 minutes down, down the highway, and I'm like, I want to go back. So I don't think I can handle going to Mars. Too much anxiety.
Unfortunately, it won't be your choice.
Yeah.
In this hypothetical scenario, that will never happen.
Well, no, it won't happen to me. It won't happen to you. I mean, we're in the more like the Spanish Civil War section of America's history, which means like, well, you're not in America. I'll just be murdered. That's what happens. Is I am just murdered. I'll be ghettoized and murdered.
Well, you'll make it. We're all going to make it.
No. And also the idea of making it is this like dumb, just denying the idea that, you're just a shivering, defecating bullshit creature anyway. I mean, you ultimately are just going to die. I mean, everything that you do is just this pointless fucking masturbatory action. I mean, it doesn't matter.
You're really bringing the positivity today, aren't you?
I am. Have you started Denial of Death yet?
Unfortunately, no. I got a lot of free time now, so I'll be looking into that hopefully next week when I'm not as fucking busy.
Yeah, I've been streaming it, streaming the audiobook. And
that's what Becker is on D Live. I get the notifications, but for some reason I thought you were watching the TV show Becker.
No, I thought about that by part 2. I was like, people think I might be watching the show Becker. No, yeah, chapter 3 is rough. He gets all into like the Freudian idea for like early life and stuff. It's a hard one.
I'll have to get started on this week. Maybe we can do a podcast about this.
We should. Sheldon Solomon never responded to you, I assume.
Nah. I get that a lot from people.
I'm going to email him and be like, listen here, you son of a bitch. Listen here, you better come on my podcast.
Yeah. Hi, I'm a famous internet racist, and I'm a huge fan of your work. Please come on my podcast.
Right.
You wanna wind the show down?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. But anyway, there's nothing more to say. I already did the news. So Bryden, anything you want to plug?
Oh yeah, voting in Georgia. You should go and vote for the Republicans of Georgia.
Yeah, sure. I guess Dominion will probably change your votes back, but
right, and that's true.
Effort counts.
Exactly. Make them cheat. Okay, they did a lousy job of doing it this time, so make them cheat. Go and vote in Georgia. If you're in Georgia, go and vote in Georgia. Donate to those fucking. They're not their best candidates, but donate whatever you can to them. Or if you're like tight for cash, just give it to our Streamlabs instead, because I will be the governor of Georgia next time.
Yes, he will, and that's a pledge. And the candidates are the blonde one's hot.
She's also a fucking idiot.
Well, she's a blonde.
She's a fucking moron. They're both stupid. We're gonna lose, but make them cheat over there. Go and vote. If you're in Georgia, go and vote. Vote for the fucking Republicans. You gotta do it. All right, because the way that I put it, the way that I think of it is like this, and this is important stuff. Is you're not doing anything good with a protest vote. That's what the libertarians did. And what did they do? They fucked us. All right? If all the libertarians had voted for Donald Trump, yeah, they probably still would have cheated. It would have been even more erratic, right? Taking your ball and going home does nothing. They will get rid of the Electoral College and they will pack the Supreme Court within 2 years. They'll do that. They want to do that. They don't care that that they stole the election. So at least make it hard for them to cheat. Go and vote for the Republicans if you are living in Georgia.
Well, whatever he said. Anyway, you can go check out Bryden on D Live. The link to his website and other stuff will be in the description. Check my site out at mattforney.com. All my shit will be in the description as well. That'll do it for this episode of Terror House Radio. Check in every day at Terror House Magazine, terrorhousemag.com. Our books are at Terror House Press, terrorhousepress.com. Follow our social media links in the description, and you can always check out past episodes of Terror House Radio at terrorhouseradio.com. Terror House Radio is produced by Bryden Proctor and presented by Jugs. Intro music by Meme Extremist. Illegitimate Uncoverundum. Don't the bastards grind you down. I'm Matt Forney with Bryden Proctor. We are out.